My name is Maria Herrera and my partner is Rosa Gonzalez. I am 18 and she is 17, and we are both Mexican Americans. African American literature portrays how black people are portrayed in their history. The value of ethnic is a study of one's past culture and comparing to how it is now. The documentary we both watched was 13th, which was about 2 hours long, so we decided to summarize the most important parts. The video that was created is a bit longer than it should be, but that is only because of how long the documentary was. There are themes that are expressed throughout the documentary, including criminality, threat, awareness, empowerment, reality, poverty, and race. In the beginning, black people were seen as evil. For example, we can use the KKK to describe how these people were seen as a threat, therefore, they were killed because of assumptions. The KKK were a group of white people that killed African Americans because they felt that it was necessary or they did it for the fun of it. Another thing that is very important to mention is how white people have the power, showing empowerment. White people chose what the people of today know about the history of African Americans. They are the ones that decide that what is important to know and what things should change. Another topic that is described in this documentary is segregation, where white people and people of color were divided because of their skin in a very unfair manner. There were many white people who violated the segregation laws, and there were civil rights activists. Henry Louis Gates, Jr., professor of history at Harvard University, said being arrested was a noble thing. Being arrested by white people was a nightmare, still is for African Americans. They defined the movement on getting arrested. This meant that the crime rates increased. Michelle Alexander, an educator and author, it was said it was easy for politicians to say that the civil rights movement increased crime rates. Which brings us to another theme, or another topic, crime. The U.S. population, during the year of 1970, for crime rates for people who were in jail, was at 357,292. 100,000 were sent for low crime issues. The president of that time, Nixon, fought against black movements. The topic also was on drugs. War on drugs was about throwing black people in jail. Nixon's advisor said that people who were involved with crack were either Hispanic or African Americans, but never white people. In 1980, the population of people that were in jail increased for the same reasons, 513,900. Another theme or topic is poverty. It increased as well. Crack cocaine started to become popular, especially in African American communities, so people started to waste money on crack cocaine. In the year of 1985, for the same reason, drug use, the population of prisoners increased to 759,100. Another theme is race. Black people are seen as criminals on television more than they actually are. People were therefore afraid because of what the news would say. In the news, they were portrayed as super predators, animals, beasts. Kids who were or teenagers that were African Americans were seen as these animals, but they were innocent kids at times. My partner and I both recommend this documentary to anyone that wants to be informed on how things actually were around the years that were mentioned. A lot of people are unaware of what actually happened, and with this documentary, it can help explain everything. I enjoyed this documentary because there were times that they included songs that involved that same topic, and it helped express or show it a bit better. I also enjoyed it because, we both enjoyed it because of the videos they provided, like real life videos, to show how things actually were. In the article that we read in class, called The Scholars' War on the Blacks by Chancellor Williams compares really well, or just relates really well to the documentary that was watched. They express the theme of white power, white people have the power. Um, an example would be of how African American history is ignored and changed into something that the people prefer. A quote in this article states, "History becomes the history of Arabs and Europeans in Africa and not the history of Africans." Therefore, saying that things changed depending on what other people wanted it to be, not how it actually happened or how it actually is. Another good quote would be, from their all-powerful position of strength, they continue to arrange and rearrange the world as it pleases them, naming and classifying people, places, and things as they will. This is a very good quote to mention because it shows how things are rearranged as the way that people wanted it to be, not how it actually happened. Things changed, names changed, events changed. Another good quote would be, "Their histories and other scientific studies of the blacks are presented just as they have been for 300 years, meaning that they continue being the same thing over and over again. But they also were changed, and that change stayed because that's how people wanted it to be.